Shalom. Call Haloyim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, so this report just came out 1 day ago. It says experts warn of U.S. power grid 18-month shutdown. U.S. power grid could result in 18-month nationwide blackout, expert warns. So this is not fear-mongering. This is not some type of conspiracy theory. You have U.S. experts actually warning about this. And you have to wrap your mind around something like this happening because it's all biblical prophecy. The scriptures talk about a time like never was nor shall be. And so when we say these things, we're not saying it so that you can fret. We're saying it so that you can understand that this all coincides with Yahweh Shai's return. So if you're really looking forward to his return, then hearing news like this should excite you. Yeah, it's a little bit scary in the flesh, but remember the scriptures say that the Lord has care for his elect. So he's going to watch over those who are doing his will, those who love him, who are feeding his lambs, and ultimately who are just putting on as the elect. So before we get into this, what I want to do is first read this precept, Jeremiah 30, starting at verse 5 in the NLT on the right. It says, "This is what the Lord says. I hear cries of fear. There is terror and no peace." Now let me ask you a question. Do men give birth to babies? Then why do they stand there, ashen-faced, hands pressed against their sides, like a woman in labor? In all history, there has never been such a time of terror. It will be a time of trouble, or Jacob's trouble, in the King James on the left. It will be a time of trouble for my people Israel, yet in the end, they will be saved. And in these days, it's only going to be the elect, a small remnant out of the nation of Israel that are going to be protected in this time of Jacob's trouble, and of course delivered from the second death in a chariot. And that's what we're looking forward to. So we need certain things like this to happen in order for the kingdom of heaven to take place here on earth, because there's no way around it. Prophecy will take place. So let's check out this video. It's kind of long, but I'm just going to let it rock out. Definitely subscribe to this guy's channel, Steve Ram. He brings out nothing but breaking and verified news. So good channel to keep up with.
Developing news coming out today, August 19, 2026, of potential cyber attacks against our power grid systems that could knock out and black out the entire United States for 18 months. And they're saying it is shockingly easy. In fact, they're saying that 12-year-olds with internet access could do this. And so Iran doing this, they said, is not out of the picture, and it could be absolutely devastating. Let's take a look at the latest headlines coming out today, August 19th, so you can see it for yourself. Shockingly vulnerable U.S. power grid could result in an 18-month nationwide blackout, an expert has warned. This is coming out all across the headlines today, August 19th, 2026. Take a look at some more with me. Warning that a mammoth nationwide blackout could last 18 months as power grids' appalling weak spots are exposed, and they're saying this is something the IRGC could actually easily do to the United States. The U.S. is at risk of an 18-month-long blackout that could extend across the entire nation, experts claim. So just to clarify, we're going to be getting into the details of this, but they're saying this is not just a city or a region. They're saying the entire United States of America could be entirely blacked out, shut down, and we would be unable to get our systems up for roughly 18 months is the estimate that we are hearing. Now, in addition to that, take a look at this. We've been continually hearing threats coming out from the IRGC. They are threatening to target global energy and internet infrastructure if Iran is attacked again. This came out August 12th when we had heard some of the more recent threats against the U.S. power grid systems. And just to clarify, it says here global energy and internet, but in case you are wondering, Iran made sure that we knew Iran lawmakers threaten U.S. power grid if Iran is attacked. And that is not just grids of U.S. assets in the Middle Eastern region. They're talking specifically about attacking U.S. soil in North America. We're going to get into the details of this as they're saying that this would be coast to coast, west to east. Every single resident in the United States would be blacked out for 18 months, and they're saying it's actually shockingly simple to achieve. They believe that 12-year-olds with access to the internet could do it because we are operating on archaic systems that need immediate attention right away. Now, in addition to that,
Yeah, so remember, like a week or two ago, Trump was like, look, there's no deal. At this point, I'm ready to attack Iran's energy and power structure. And they came back and they clapped back and they said, okay, if you do that, then we're going to attack your power grids, your power structure on U.S. soil. At the same exact time, now we're seeing that U.S. experts are warning if there is some type of cyber attack on the U.S. power grid, then that could result in an 18-month blackout, meaning that's how long they're estimating minimum that it would take to bring back power across the entire U.S. Imagine that. Coast to coast. Every single state. Babylon the Great fully covered in a blackout. You see, we've been warning about things like this for a long time, starting with our apostles on down. And now you see it. Now we're here. So we're definitely living in the end times right now. You see so many prophecies coming to pass. You got to look forward to certain things like this coming because it's realistic. It's realistic. We know how Esau rolls, and we know that he wants to bring in his new world order. So he creates some type of problem, whether he attacks the grid, Iran attacks the grid, whatever, however it looks like. And then when things come back up, boom, he has his solution, which is going to be that microchip, the mark of the beast. So I can see something like this happening. Now, if you don't know, of course, Gary, Indiana, and surrounding areas have been in a blackout for the past 10 days. Today makes 10 days. So let's just get a quick fill-in concerning that situation.
This morning, tens of thousands of Northwest Indiana residents are still in the dark without power since a wave of destructive storms moved through the area back on August 11th.
Last night, the entire city was pitch black.
The frustration is growing for people like Gary resident Adriana Harris.
Many people don't have generators. A lot of homeowners don't have the things they need for their home.
Indiana residents taking to social media documenting just how hard everyday life has become without power.
Things just keep getting worse and worse. We are now under a boil advisory.
In Griffith, Indiana, officers have been going door to door doing welfare checks, and angry residents packed a city council meeting demanding power be restored.
I'm diabetic and I have my medicine in a refrigerator.
NIPSCO, the Northern Indiana Public Service Company responsible for power in the area, says they are working around the clock to restore power, but even so, may not have it all restored until next Tuesday.
These are lines that ordinarily take us, and systems that ordinarily take weeks or months, that we are trying to accomplish in days and or weeks.
And residents also want to see all of this debris cleaned up from their neighborhoods. There are still about 70,000 customers without power. The utility company compares the damage created by last week's storm to a Category 2 hurricane.
Yeah, Category 2 hurricane. They were saying that the winds were 99 miles per hour. And apparently that's what caused all this. So they're going through it over there. They're going through it. And, we believe that the elect are being taken care of, they're protected, and you have to believe that if something like this, and when it happens in your city, your area, that you'll be okay. Like the scriptures say, you have to put on as the elect. So now is the time to ask the Lord to increase your faith before all these things really pop off. Because when it does, there isn't going to be any going back to normal. There's no turning back. Let's check out one more video of a lady just showing how dark it is. I believe it was like day 7, day 8. But as we watch this next video, imagine this 18 months across the entire country.
I just wanted to show y'all how dark it is in Indiana right now. We are currently day 7, no power. Don't even know when our power is going to be restored at this point because the time keep changing. But let me show y'all how dark it is. There we go. Completely dark. It's not safe. People are breaking in people's houses and everything. I just want.
Yeah, that's how dark it was. I mean, she might as well just showed you a black screen. That's how dark it is. No lights, no power, nothing. She said people are already breaking in houses. Other videos are also talking about how there's a bunch of looting, especially at night. A lot of violence going on. And as you can imagine, I mean, just imagine the things that are and would be taking place at night when there's nobody watching, right? When it's completely dark and people feel like they can get away with anything, as they are, of course. But that's it. You know, that's it right there. We got Jeremiah 30, and I'll read Revelation 12 and 12, because this right here is the time that we're in. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, that's Esau, Edom, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So don't be, shocked to learn that Esau, Edom is really the one pulling these strings. There's apparently, they say it was those strong winds from a storm, right? That's being compared to a Category 2 hurricane. You never know. You never know if that really was the case or if Esau, Edom did something. You can look into it too, but the state of Indiana years ago bought like all this crazy dollar worth amount of Israeli bonds. And now Israel is actually trying to bring companies over to America, and they're trying to, these companies are trying to have their headquarters in Indiana. That's currently taking place right now. That's factual. So who really knows what's going on behind the scenes? Either way, we know that Esau has his hands in all of it because his kingdom is falling, and he wants to do all that he can in order to establish his new world order. But the Lord is going to watch over the elect. So we, as the hopeful elect, we don't have anything to worry about when these things take place. Just continue to pray without ceasing, continue to watch. And as a matter of fact, I'll end off with one last precept. This is Ephesians 5. Verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. The days ahead will be evil. We're quickly coming into some perilous times. But that's okay. That's okay. There's no need to fret. There's no need to be thinking about these negative what-if scenarios. Your job is to remain faithful. And as long as you do that, and you continue to do the will of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, during these times of a long-lasting blackout, famine, looting, and rioting, you will 100% be okay. Because that's what the Lord promised us. So continue to repent, ask the Lord for mercy, pray, fast, ask the Lord to increase your faith in him. And that's all we need to do. Worry about these spiritual things, right? And we'll be okay in that time. So this is something that could take place. Look forward to this. and many, many more prophecies coming to pass. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Call Halayim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Shalom.